Hello, MCM London. How are we? Woo! Oh, that's a bit bad.
Hello. Is this what my voice really sounds like?
We are joined on the sofa by Daniela Ruah and Eric Christian Olsen from NCIS.
Los Angeles.
The first thing we should address is how young we look in these photos.
Just don't look at Daniela's.
Right, she looks 14. And this is before either one of us have had kids, so we look so well rested. Like last night at 3 o'clock in the morning, I didn't have a 3-year-old to get up and be like, Dad, I want a banana. I'm like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, you can't have a banana. He's like, Dad, I want a peach. And I was like, we're not gonna go through all the fruit in the bowl. Let's go back to bed.
I dislike that picture so much.
Why though? What's the aspects of that picture
I'll tell you why.
hate?
Because that was,
Wait, do you want me to tell you why?
No, you're gonna say it's because the side of my face that I don't like, but that's not why. It's because
I was gonna say the vest. Like, what is that 90s vest?
That doesn't bother me at all. No, well, for one, that it's just not.
And I'm not gonna go ahead.
This is my day-to-day, people. No, that picture was from when we shot the two-part pilots that ended up airing with NCIS. And Kenzie looks nothing like that anymore. The hair is off, the clothing, I don't dress like that anymore.
No.
There's just a lot about that picture that it was me trying to be a character that we hadn't figured out yet.
And what's crazy about being an actor versus like taking photos is like when you're just acting, you don't think about where your hands are. But when you're taking a photo, and you guys do the same thing, and you're like in a photo and you're like, what do I do with my hand? and so Danny's like half in, half out. He went pockets. I'm putting him in my pockets. Me? What's this? Just a creepy hand right there. And then look at Nell. She's doing she's selling something on the channel. She's like this.
QVC.
And Chris, I don't know what Chris is doing. Chris looks like he's 30 in that.
You and Chris are just smothering.
Smoldering.
That's it, not smothering.
Smoldering. That's a different verb. We'll work on that later.
Yeah, hey, you did, Megan, make sure you get like the worst pictures of our faces ever.
That's it.
Like, every
That's
time
just what our faces look like. I'm hard to tell. I don't know how to tell you this, but that's what we look like. So what are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about NCIS Los Angeles. What do you both love about the show?
What do we love about it?
What do you love about it?
I'm going to move closer. I feel really far.
Hey. That's going to end up on Instagram. Great, now it's on Instagram. Just there's a huge couch and just you have to sit right next to me.
By the way, when I sit home, no matter whether I'm with my parents or with my husband and kids, it doesn't matter how big or small the couch is. I like to be next to whoever's sitting on the couch. I don't like the whole distance thing. And for the most part, I like digging myself in the hole between two pillows. So no matter where anybody else is, I'm here or right next to them. This feels so impersonal to me.
Which is exactly the opposite of me, because I hang over the side to give the other person as much space as possible. Which is kind of why we are a couple on the show. I'm just backing off, and you're like, I'm needy. I'm super needy. How are you?
I was an only child, so I get lonely very quickly.
I get it.
I like company.
She had no one to play with, you guys. It was just her imaginary friend.
Who was the imaginary friend?
Jasper.
And what special...
Wait, are you being serious? You guys, this just got so real. We're now going to go on to a milestone of child psychology into your relationship with your imaginary friend, Jasper.
Jasper, and he had green hair.
Did he have any special power? Was it like Drop Dead Fred?
No. I don't even know that I even
His special power was love.
Oh.
He said, Danny, you're worth it.
Yes, sir.
Signed L'Oreal.
Yeah. No plug.
Oh, yeah.
No. There wasn't any conversations or anything like that. He was just there, keeping me company.
That's even creepier.
I didn't speak to, it wasn't like a speaking to myself type thing.
It's like a scene from Poltergeist.
Wait, you spoke to Jasper?
No, I didn't. That's what I'm saying.
He was just there, quiet, stoic, loving.
Standing in the corner of the room looking.
To protect you? Or what role did Jasper play in your childhood?
Hold on.
Tell me about Jasper. So walk me through childhood. When you went to a place of sadness, what did Jasper do? This is so real, by the way.
This is so like...
This has never happened at Comic-Con. I guarantee the kids from Blind Spot are not doing this.
No, that's it.
No, I just met him. He's really nice.
About the show.
What do we like about the show? Our time is up. All right, good talk.
Pep talk.
Listen, I just met somebody this morning, and I think this is a perfect indication of one of the reasons we love this show. Besides shooting it, obviously, it's so much fun. We get to work with LL Cool J and Chris O'Donnell and Linda Hunt and
Daniela Ruah.
Daniela Ruah and Jasper, evidently her imaginary friend,
Jasper.
who is sitting right here now.
I literally
hair.
just thought of that when we made the
It's-
joke. I was like, oh my God, I did have this friend in my head.
Yeah, I've talked to her for 15,000 hours. This is the first time she
first time it's come
revealed that she had an imaginary friend as a kid. So you guys are all a part of that, that very private moment. Somebody came up this morning and said this is a show that they watch with their mom, and their Nana watches it too. It's 3. There, yes. That's right. That's why I gave you the thing.
You had the Stranger Things outfit on earlier. That's the most
there
creative.
it's on the floor because someone made you take it off because they couldn't see. Which is, but that's an amazing thing. Like, you know, you watch it with your mom and your Nana watches it too, and it's one of the only kind of shows on television in which multi-generations watch together. And I think for me, especially, was that an airplane? Especially as a new father, like, I've done a lot of bad movies, and my parents are always like, we saw it. And that's it. I was like, how'd you like it? And they're like, it was okay. Wait, what's that?
Daniela es el mayor.
You feel loved right now. It's like a representation of Jasper in the
Jasper, is
flesh.
that you?
Jasper grew up. Turns out he's got a beard and his hair isn't green. But it's a really fun thing to have a show that's so embraced by families that they watch together. And I think it doesn't happen in television anymore. So I think that's a really cool part of it.
Yeah, the show is appropriate for a variety of different ages, and yeah, it's kind of everything what Eric said just now. I love that people, because we are so family oriented ourselves, that when people tell us stories that that our show connects them to the rest of their family, it means the
Where are
world
you guys
to
going?
us.
That raccoon, where are you going? Guardians of the Galaxy. You got someplace to be? Where are you going? You don't want to tell us? It's cool. I'll come with you. You want me to go? I'll go with you. We'll go with you. We're out of here.
Coming.
I'm out of here. Where are we going? We're going over here? All right. I'll see you guys. Me and the raccoon, we're going to go get some autographs signed by the guy in
about
Riverdale.
Jasper.
Oh God.
Oh, they're going to the bathroom. All right. I'll wait. I'll save your spot. You got the spot? All right, we're good. Oh, crap. It'd be a really funny bit if I really committed to that and went
just
with
left.
them,
bathroom.
but kept the microphone, and all you heard was me talking to a raccoon for the next 20 minutes.
Who's peeing?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we've derailed. What?
Next
Somebody
question.
asked us
Let's
a
go on to
question
the-
of.
I was going to ask, do you do any training? Like, throughout the seasons, obviously you've done some training in the beginning. Do you carry on that training when shooting episodes and seasons?
We get that question a lot, actually. For season 1, I had never held a weapon in my life, and so I definitely needed to go to a shooting range and practice shooting and understand the weight of the gun, and and sometimes we have to pull the gun out of our holsters so fast that you just want to make everything seem as organic as possible, because our characters are have supposedly been doing this for so long. You don't want to look like a beginner when you're actually a beginning actor. So definitely we had some technical training in that aspect, and also other things like strategy. When you go into a building and you think there might be a bad guy in there, how do you breach the building? There's very specific protocol things that you should do to keep yourself safe. So we've had to learn a few of those things. We have a technical advisor with us on set at all times. So if we have a question, if we're not really sure what to do, then we always, ask him. And then in terms of the physical stuff, we both exercise as much as we can. We keep ourselves healthy with what we eat, and it keeps our stamina up for everything that we have to do.
Yeah, it's when you shoot 24 episodes a year, so it's essentially 10 straight months, it's 60 hours a week, that if you think about your favorite shows, and you think about, especially a show that's been on this long, like everybody kind of has a season where they let it all go. They just kind of fall apart. So you have to really put the work in to stay in shape. But one of the crazy things about a show like this is that we spend, as I said, I did the math, it was 15,000 hours playing these characters, and at some point in time you kind of lose perspective that it's, Danny's, hey, what's up? What's going on?
Hey, buddy.
What's
Hi.
up, Spider-Man? What are we doing? Who gave you candy? Where's your mom? Mom's over here.
Go
That's
ahead, Dad. Go ahead.
Oh, he's part of Skynet. You're done.
That's it. That's it.
You want to sit on the couch with Jasper? So you lose perspective of kind of like when an explosion happens, like or gunshots or something, in your mind, in the show, like you run towards it. That just starts to be an instinct. And I remember, like in real life, I was walking with my wife who was 8 months pregnant, and I saw this sketchy dude like 100 yards ahead of us, and the sun is going down, so it's just about dusk. and he jumps over a fence. And I was like, well, that's odd. Why is he jumping a fence into this house? And then all of a sudden, like 2 seconds later, I hear a woman scream. And I immediately, without thinking, just like I was on the show, I start sprinting towards the house, like to go save the person. And my wife yells out, "You're not a real agent!" And that didn't stop me because I've been doing it for 10 years. And so I like jumped the fence and like run up to the door. I'm like bang, bang, bang in the door. And the woman comes to the door and it was one of those great moments where she recognized me from the show. And she was like, hi. And I was like, are you okay? And she's like, why are you here? And I was like, I heard a scream. And she goes, and so you came? And I was like, yeah, are you okay? And she was like, yes, my son came and he surprised me and blah, blah. I was like, okay, I'm glad that everything's fine. I'll see you Sunday nights at 9 o'clock. And
I just want to point out that he left his 8-month-old pregnant wife.
Just sitting out there going like, my husband's an idiot.
Like, she's 8 months pregnant, but let me go check out if that other lady's okay.
Yeah, she just
You got
rolls her
this, babe,
eyes.
right?
It happens to me all the time. It's what happens. You play this character for this many hours and you just think you're Batman.
No, you think you're.
Yeah, I know.
I'm fully aware of my lack of capabilities.
Yeah,
So
Chris O'Donnell's probably not doing that.
So your brother and sister-in-law in real life, does it feel weird that your characters grow closer throughout the seasons, being that you are brother and sister-in-law?
Only when you say it out loud.
Yeah, only when you talk about it.
Yeah.
I think that this season, you guys are almost caught up. You've got like 3 episodes to go in this season. I think this season's been the easiest time to answer that question because I think it's been the best season for Denzi. I can say that, right? I can
Does
say
everybody
Denzi?
know what happens between these two characters at the end? Okay,
So-
Some
yes,
do,
no?
some don't by the looks of things.
Well, it's kind
Don't
of
spoil it.
Spoiler alert, I've said it now, you can say.
Chloe hasn't seen it.
close. No. Wait. The reason why I'm going to say this part is just because it's we've said this in interviews and it's on the internet and all this stuff. So these two characters do get engaged by the end of the season, but we're not going to tell you.
What the hell?
Oh, spoiler!
You just hurt Jasper.
Oh,
You okay, buddy?
He
You
doesn't.
okay?
Evidently, he doesn't talk to you, so he just stands here stoically.
What was I saying?
You were saying
right, so, but I'm not
you
gonna
were
tell you.
spoiling the
Hold on.
season.
I'm not
yeah.
going to. He dies. No,
She's
I'm
right.
not going to tell you as he's dying, Kenzie. No, I'm not going to tell you how the proposal happens. For those who haven't seen it, I'm not going to tell you what it happens after, because it's very intense. It's true. The proposal happens in a way that people are not expecting, but it also happens after something that I'm also not relating to men. And all of a sudden, she meets this guy, and it's very, very. She's very cautious about how she approaches him in the beginning. And I think they go through enough obstacles where they support each other because either he's kidnapped and tortured, she's kidnapped, and and so there's this love and this trust and this passion that for each other that starts to develop. And so we want to stay as faithful as possible to these two characters and what you guys have been accompanying for the last 7-8 years. And so regardless of being family in real life, I think if we don't play this as truthfully as possible, then we're not being fair to you and we're not being fair to the characters. And that's our priority, is being as real as possible to what we are presenting to you.
I honestly had no idea where you were going with that answer, but it was really good.
yeah. Spot on.
I just didn't know if you were going to bring it back around, and then you brought it back around, and it was a really good answer.
So LL Cool J has said that he does most of his own stunts in the show to show fans that he is very invested in the character. Do you guys do your own stunts?
We do what they let us do.
Yeah.
I think for insurance purposes, there's a variety of things that it's just, we still have to come to work with no broken bones the next day. So sometimes the explosions, sometimes sections in the fight scenes, if you have to, hanging off a building, you actually did that yourself. There's a few things that are done by us, but we always have our stunt doubles for certain things that we're not allowed to do. My husband is a stunt double, for those of you who don't know, and he works with us on the show.
Anytime
the
there's
fight-
fire. I mean,
Every time there's fire and...
Use a stuntman when it makes sense. When it makes sense. I mean,
Basically,
if you see us doing it, obviously it's us. A lot of the fight sequences are us.
Yeah.
But if there's an explosion or a car flips over, most likely there's somebody else in there.
So have you found a specific stunt that's been really challenging for you, that you've really come out at the other end of doing the shot and then gone, wow, I can't believe I've actually just done that?
I can answer this for Danny. She does so much of her fight stuff. Like when you guys see a knife fight with Danny that's like 4 minutes long, that's all Danny. Like she spends the time to learn all that stuff.
Round of applause.
Thank you.
You got clapping for that. That's
Damn
props.
right.
And in all honesty, what that means is that on top of having 2 kids and shooting the show, she goes someplace and rehearses that fight scene for hours, which is the exact opposite of what I do, which is show up and be like, all right, what do you want me to do? All right, hand me the knife. And then I do this? Okay, got it.
What that means is I'm a lot slower at learning than him. I have a dance background, and so I treat the fight sequences as choreographies, which is exactly what they are. Everything has a timing. You've got to be in a certain place to do it with your partner, otherwise somebody's going to get hit or hurt for real. And so that's one of the things that I find the most fun about doing this job is those kind of sequences.
And you're really good at them. I think it's obvious when you see a show and you guys watch enough shows, when someone looks bad with a weapon, the whole thing feels inauthentic. And I think, our show, I mean, you look at the progress of Nell with a gun. The first time they sent her to the field and they gave her a gun, you're like, oh, no. Or Barrett. God, when they gave Barrett a gun. Oh, my God. Sweet.
They're going to see this.
Huh?
They're going to see this.
When they first started off being
What
sent
a jerk.
No, they had never been in the field before, and so they did not put him through the training to look great with a gun. And so the first time they hit him,
I see what you're saying.
the character
it
did
was
not.
important that they
right,
didn't look experienced.
Right,
I see.
so
I
that
thought you
all
were just
tracks.
insulting them. I was like,
I'm just saying, you can
That
see the
makes sense.
difference. They hand you any weapon and you make it work.
thank you.
Nice.
Wow.
Well, I've got a couple of quick questions from superfan Jake Cowan from Stevenage. He says, where is the boat shed?
It's a secret location.
You need to tell us where the boat shed is.
It's
That's
in
all
Venice.
I've got down.
It's in
It's in
Los
Venice.
Angeles.
Okay. And when you walk past LL, do you sing something like a phenomenon?
Something like a phenomenon.
Can you imagine if for 7 years we did that to the man?
He'd probably kill
He'd be
you.
like, oh, get over it.
Here's a story about LL that's really great. We've worked with him now for 8 years, and he's incredible. But I see him on a regular basis. My friend from Iowa was working. I'm from Iowa. Was working at a hotel, and he got on the elevator with LL, just the two of them, nobody else around, just the two. And my friend started rapping one of LL's songs, which is like a nightmare, right? And LL looked over at him and started rapping with him, just the two of them
That's
in
the
this
kind of guy he
elevator,
is.
rapping it out. Gave him a hug, and he was like, see you later. So there was nobody else there. That was just for that kid in Iowa that he made his dream come true. This is before I met LL, and that's one of the first stories I told him. So that's kind of who that guy is.
Nice. Sounds like a perfect gentleman, to be fair. We're going to go and take a couple of questions from this amazing audience we have here. So you have
Is
a
the
question.
music getting louder?
Yes.
It seems to be. It's the Game of Thrones, guys.
Hey, can you guys turn your Game of Thrones music down?
Turn the TV down.
July 13th, I know, I'll be watching. I'm just asking if you could turn it
He's
down.
obsessed with Game of
Quick
Thrones.
plug.
Lannister bastards.
So, if any of you have got a question, put your hands up. I'll come straight out. If you could stand up, please.
Hi,
Hi. What's your name?
Katie.
Kate. That's right.
Katie.
I-E. It's an I-E. It's not a Y.
It is.
Yeah, I got you.
Katie.
The I is silent. You hold the E. It's
Kate.
Katie. Katie.
This has gone long enough. Go ahead. What's your question?
I was just wondering what.
What?
Oh, sorry. What advice would you give other actors to sort of, with your experience as actors, what advice would you give other actors?
What
For-
advice would we give to other actors?
For the business or for the actual acting part?
Both.
You can do the business, I'll do the acting.
Definitely.
Go for it.
Okay. I think the most important thing with acting, it doesn't matter what school you choose to go to or no school at all. When we have a conversation just like you and I are having now, you're listening to my words and you're reacting to what I'm saying. Acting is that. It's act and react. Just listen and you'll give a real response. Obviously, if you're playing a certain character who has certain quirks or certain aspects or characteristics about them, you end up incorporating those in, but essentially, you just always want to tell the truth. And the only way you can tell the truth is by looking and listening to the circumstances within the scene and with the other person. So, listen and react.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Listen and tell the truth is my philosophy for all that. If you're not telling the truth, then you got to go again. For the business aspect of it, I think what's amazing about right now and where technology is at is that you have the power with your friends to go out and shoot something on your iPhone, edit it together, and put it up on YouTube. So I have a full production company, and we do 15 meetings a week with potential new writers and people that we see, and a lot of that stuff comes from our director of development pouring through YouTube and skits and things all over the internet. That didn't exist 10 years ago. And now you really can have a platform to tell your own stories with your friends, write your own stuff, act in your own stuff, produce your own stuff, learn every aspect of it, and those stories, if they're great, will find an audience.
Yeah, that's actually the beauty of the show business is you don't have to wait for somebody to give you a job. You can make one yourself.
Yeah, and that didn't, and it was 10 years ago. Didn't happen. I don't know if you guys, I think it's big here. Fleabags, isn't that from the UK? Fleabags from BBC? No one's seen it. Fleabag?
I've never heard of it.
Oh, yeah. We found that woman who's the star of that show. I saw it on the internet, and I was like, this woman's a star. And I remember calling the head of CBS casting, being like, we got to get her in a development deal. And now she's got her own huge show, and she doesn't need us, but it was off the internet.
Yeah, stand up.
Hello.
Can you do an impersonation of each other?
Can I do impersonation of Danny?
I'm going to enjoy watching this. Let's go, guys.
It depends, what part of Danny. Danny mad, which is 75% of Danny, or Danny frustrated, which is the other 25% of Danny.
Only because I work with you.
I get it.
I was very happy before you joined the show.
That's just not true. That's just a blatant
No,
lie.
I'm much happier now, but that's because I married your brother.
That is true. I like that you just changed positions.
I can't. I don't like being on that
four times
side.
and just sat on poor Jasper.
He's used to me sitting on his lap.
So
What?
an impression of Daniela, I reckon, frustrated with Jasper.
Yeah, I actually don't do an impersonation of Danny.
No.
Do I? I don't have one of you.
Listen, we have to navigate the situation.
Oi!
Is that me?
Oh, yes.
So
We
now,
gotta
Eric, you're
navigate.
going to have to.
That's when I talk to my son. I go, listen, if we have a plan, if that plan doesn't work, we adapt, right? We figure it out together as a team. So that's me. I don't know about whatever rap
No,
you
this-
just did. We gotta navigate the situation. I don't know where I'm from. That's one of the worst impersonations I've ever seen. It sounded like
it's
you were
when you're
doing a
getting
bad
annoyed.
LL.
No, it's when you're getting annoyed at someone for not adapting, but an adult, not your son, because with Wyatt you're very patient. But when it's a grown up,
Oh,
you're
that's
just
true. Listen, yeah, that's true.
The word navigate the situation.
We're gonna navigate
words.
this situation. Yeah, I use that word a lot because that's what life is, and especially in the business when we're not fixing it. We're gonna navigate this, which means we're gonna adapt and we're gonna figure this out as a team and we're gonna get it done. But that's true, and that's the tone I use too, for sure.
Well, thank
We've
you.
also-
I've been.
You got more you want to add to that?
Yeah, go,
You
Danny.
can add
No,
more.
you started. So
No,
this
your
is your
S's
finish.
change.
My S's change.
Your
I
S. That's what's
enunciate more when I'm frustrated.
Listen.
You're also doing an accent, though. You're doing a Jersey accent on top of it. I cop to being more articulate and enunciating when I'm frustrated, but I definitely don't become Jersey. Listen, we're gonna navigate the situation. That's terrible.
That's how I hear it.
Well, thank you very much, guys. It's been so much fun on the NYM Buzz stage.
Thank you for having
Daniela
us.
Ruah and
Thank
Eric
you.
Christian Olsen, NCIS Los Angeles. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Remember, guys, to like, subscribe, comment, and also press that notification bell so you don't miss out on anything from the stage this weekend or anything from the past. We have Bean Boozled coming up so you can win anything. Again, thank you very much, Daniela and Eric. And we'll see you all very soon.
Evidently, we're gonna see you all very soon. We're gonna take a selfie. Everybody get in. Everybody snuggle. Everybody snuggles.